The average statistical function is used to calculate the average value of a group of values. Average is calculated by adding the values and then dividing the sum by the number of values. To create a formula with an average function, type it directly into the cell. If the data are organized in rows or columns, you can also use AutoSum. On the Home tab in the Editing group, or on the Formula tab in the Functions Library group, click the AutoSum button arrow and then select Average. If you prefer using the Functions Argument dialog, on the Formulas tab in the Function Library group, click the More Functions button, point to Statistical, and click Average. You can also check Recently Used Functions to see if the function you're looking for is available there. When calculating an average, Excel will ignore empty cells. If you want to include those cells in your average calculations, make sure they have a value of 0. Let's look at a couple of examples of using the average function. In this worksheet here, which comes from your Chapter 3 homework assignment, we want to get in column I the average of price, miles per gallon in the city, miles per gallon highway, average miles per gallon. And our data is over here in column C, D, E, and F. So first I want the average price. So I'm going to make cell I4 my active cell. Straight above here is AutoSum, and I'm going to click on Average. And Excel is now waiting for me to tell it what range I'm interested in. I want the price, so with my white cross, I'm just going to simply drag to select the cells that I want. In this case, it's C7 through F7. And if I'm sure that's what I want, I'm going to enter. So over here, the average price of these vehicles is $24,367. Now let's get the average miles per gallon in the city. Another way to get the average is by using this insert function. So I'm going to click on that, and here's my recently used. So I can choose that, or up here I can type average, and that will bring it up as well. So I'm going to click on average. I'm going to say OK, and then this arguments dialog box, Excel wants me to tell it what range I want. So I can move this out of the way. I want miles per gallon city, and that's this data here. So I'm going to simply select that. And I'm going to try it again because it didn't stay. There it is. C8 to F8. And then I'm going to say OK. And it puts that average where I want it. For average of miles per gallon highway, I'm going to go ahead and use the AutoSum up here again. But I can also come over here to Formulas, and under More Functions, Statistical, there's Average again. And again, my arguments box comes up, and I want the highway. So I'm going to take my white cross and choose my range, verifying that's what I want. Click OK, and there's my average miles per gallon for highway. Now I want average miles per gallon. So over here in cell C10, I do not have that calculated. So first I need to calculate the average miles per gallon per vehicle. So I can do it using the average function, but remember, an average is adding together and then dividing. So I'm going to use that way. So I'm going to put my equal sign up, and I'm going to say I want C8 plus C9, and I want to divide that by 2 because I have 2 values. And then I'm going to hit my Enter key. And I can use my fill handle now and drag straight across because that is a relative reference formula. So now that I have the average per vehicle, I can come back over here and I can get the average of all of the vehicles. So I'm going to come back to home because I want to use it under AutoSum and there's no right or wrong. And I want average and I want to choose this range. And once I verified that's the correct range, enter, and there's my information. So there are several ways to use average. And again, this comes from your Chapter 3 homework. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.